Trigger warning. This video will be talking about some topics that are a little challenging for anyone who has either been there themselves, lost someone this way, or, it's just something we don't talk about enough. But that is what happens with a soul who passes over from suicide. I was connecting with a energy, a passed on loved one of a friend of mine, and I was very much reminded of a memory, something that happened with me when I was in a very dark place in my life. So I want to say this as quick as possible, because I wanted to reach as many people as possible. I don't edit my videos, and I don't think I ever will. Maybe I will eventually have someone do it for me, but I don't edit my videos, so they're very raw, very real. A lot of times I notice in psychic groups I'm in, mediumship groups I'm in too, when someone will post a picture of a passed on loved one who died in a violent way, or again by suicide, they ask if they're okay. A lot of this has to do with religious doctrine, things that we were, that we're programmed to believe, and myself included, like being raised in Christianity, and especially like in the South and Southern Baptist, like I was very much afraid of that. Like, what would happen if I kill myself? Am I going to hell? Am I this, that, the other thing? What happens? And so I want to clarify that anytime I have connected with a spirit on the other side who left in one of these ways, they never come through as stuck. They never, in my experience, they never come through as like resentful, or like they understand why everything had to happen the way it did. Do they regret it? Yes. It is always because of what it did to the loved ones left behind, the pain it caused to them. It is never, I feel like you know what I mean? Like we don't feel that on the other side. The guilt, the remorse, that is something we go through in our life review. We feel a little bit. After that, we spend time as energy or spirit, whatever you want to call it, working with those who are experiencing the same thing. Okay? So they will spend time helping, whether it is like someone in an organization like NAMI who is, trying to help others, or a social worker or a therapist, or they will spend time working with them to help others who are experiencing this, or they will spend time coming through to those people right at the right time when they need it the most, to show them that there was a reason to live. And this is what happened to me, and this is what I experienced. And it wasn't until connecting with my friend's passed on loved one that I found a piece of paper with some of my personal experiences, spiritual experiences, very big awakenings, that I was reminded of this event. And it was after losing my first passed on loved one, right before I lost many others. But she was my great grandma. I was very, very close to her. I was in a very deep, dark place in my addiction. I had just broken my tailbone, lost 2 jobs, and the love of my life at the time, who had a lot of strong hold on my heart, and I was even like constantly put in the heart hospital every time we would break up. Like, it was like I was kind of dying from broken heart syndrome in a sense. And I, after losing my jobs, after all this happened, he one day left a letter saying, "I'm done." Well, this was because I was a mess. I get it, all those things. I hold no resentment. I have since forgiven this person. And we even have talked, over the years, and it's been fine. But he was going to school at the time for media and music and all these things, and had just made a music video where he made it look like in the music video he hung himself. Well, this harness had this noose had a harness going through it. And it just so happened to be stored in my closet. I was living, at the time I wasn't able to see my children, my older children, because like this was a long time ago, 2014, era. And I was very depressed. I removed the harness from the noose, and I went out into the boiler room of this old apartment building I was in. I threw the noose over the top of the rafters, and I sat there and I smoked a cigarette, and I said, this is going to be my last cigarette. I got ready to write something down on my phone, leave a letter, and right then I heard a ding, 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 and it was a Facebook notification. I said, what the hell? Why not? I'll read it. As I'm smoking my last cigarette, and I'm opening up Facebook, I realized it was a friend request acceptance from my friend Tony Anthony Randoni, who had passed, I don't know how many years before that. It was probably in 2009, 2010, from suicide, and he hung himself. He was never one to get on the internet, so he never got to accept my friend request, while he was alive. And so whether or not it was a family member taking over and making it a memorial page, which I never saw happen after that, or this was him working through technology, because they will often do that. Spirit will always work through technology, do all kinds of things, whether it's the lights, the computer, the phone, whatever. I even, some algorithm is what I call angel rhythm. But anyway, I fell to the floor, and I immediately threw the noose out the window. I had a dumpster like right below my window. I didn't just like throw a noose out. And I never thought about it again. I was in many low places after that, and if you've been there, please reach out to any resources that are available, or just your support network if you have one. And if you don't, try to get out in your community, because I promise there's things going on. Some of them are free, and again, grief support is very important to me, so it's always going to be something I'm going to offer at a donation base. That, mediumship readings, not so much, because it takes a lot of my energy. It's a lot of my heart. I put everything in me into that. So but yeah, I wanted to share that story and just let people know that they are not stuck. They are not in some, purgatory, and they are spending time helping souls who are experiencing what I was experiencing in 2014. And I'm so grateful that he came through and reminded me that I had a purpose here on Earth's surface, as we all do. So, love you. Bye.